And I was going in a lot of homes, and I'm not going to be the guy who puts somebody in a plan that's not right for them. And so I was having to walk away from the table more times than not because Humana didn't beat what they had for their particular situation. That kind of led me to leave and go independent. It was a tough transition at first. We had leads coming in. We had appointments set for us. Yeah. It was not what an independent agent does. But it's been very rewarding, and I don't regret starting Neuse at all.
Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the Medicare Sales Playbook, where we are helping you expand your Medicare business one play at a time. My name is Dallas Keithley. I am your host. And man, we have been having some fun on the Medicare Sales Playbook. You guys have been great about following, liking, subscribing. Do me a favor. Tell somebody about this podcast. Help us get the word out. Leave your comment, good, bad. Give us a review. All the cool kids are doing it, and we would love for you to do it too. I am joined today by a gentleman that I've known for a couple years now, and really just a gentleman that when we started talking about having the podcast, I said, I want to have this guy on. This guy knows the business. He's everything that's right in the business. From Neuse Consulting, Mr. Stephen Robinson. Stephen, thanks for joining us, man.
Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. So I want to jump right into it because yours is an interesting story. And I think what I really want to cover today is your transition, because you've done a little bit of everything. So talk about, started back in 2005.
Sure.
Talk about how you got started, how you got in the industry.
So in 2005, got my insurance license. Actually got my Series 6, 63, 7. I was going to be the big shot financial advisor.
You like to take tests.
Yeah. They're not fun.
No.
Just like, AHIB now. But, I was that young baby face guy. So I was doing a little bit of independent sales, but I was also working for an FMO that did a lot of annuity illustrations and recruiting. So I was on the back end. I understood annuities, knew how to get them presented to others. Didn't do a whole lot of selling. Yeah. And one of the things that came up was maybe we can backdoor our way into some annuities by doing Medicare. And I fell in love with Medicare. It was much more rewarding than sitting in an office all day illustrating annuities for other people, watching them make money. So I did it for a while independent. An opportunity came up, and I decided to transition to Humana and do Medicare full time.
Yeah. So Humana as a captive agent.
Correct.
Right?
I was captive with Humana.
Yeah. How'd that go?
I loved it. So it's great. It was great training. Humana has, I say they have one of the best captive training things they do. They take you to Louisville. You have to sit through, or they don't anymore since COVID, but you used to have to go for a 3-week class. Then you had to have someone ride along with you, really babysit you. But you left knowing exactly what to present. You were compliant. It's a great starting point. And I built a pretty good book while I was with Humana.
Then 2015 made the jump, started Neuse Consulting.
So 2019.
Right? 2019. I'm sorry.
Yep.
2019 started Neuse Consulting.
Correct.
And have been doing that ever since, right?
Yep. So it started 2019. Just wanted to go back to being independent.
Yeah.
I think one of the main reasons on that is, I'm in North Carolina. The market started getting pretty competitive, and I was going in a lot of homes, and I'm not going to be the guy who puts somebody in a plan that's not right for them.
Right.
And so I was having to walk away from the table more times than not because Humana didn't beat what they had for their particular situation. And that got frustrating. So that kind of led me to leave and go independent.
Yeah.
And it was a tough transition at first. We had leads coming in. We had appointments set for us. Yeah. It was not what an independent agent does. But it's been very rewarding, and I don't regret starting Neuse at all.
So I think we're taking for granted. There's some agents on here that we're saying words like captive, independent, all that.
Right.
Talk about what is the difference? What is a captive agent? What is an independent agent?
Sure. So one thing with being captive, you don't own your book. So you're why I say I built a big book. Humana owned that book. So when I decided to walk, I walked away with no clients. Right. I had a lot of people who knew me, but they did own it. They don't pay you full commission. They give you some benefits and life insurance, a little salary. But when you look at it, it's not what we make as independent agents. Now, independent, you're your own business. You are, and I tell everybody, you're an independent business, small business. You need to think of it like that. You have to invest in yourself. You have to go out and get your own leads, referrals. You do your own connections to start your grassroots marketing. Whereas, when you're captive, you're riding that Humana name, that United name, whoever you happen to be in the captive side with.
Right. So the benefit to being, of course, independent is, being captive. You got the training.
You've got the training. And
You've
support.
got the structure.
Yeah.
You got the support, the leads, all that stuff. And I have seen quite a few agents. I have agents come to me and say, "Hey, listen, I'm killing it over here in the captive world."
Right.
And I just realized they own my book of business.
Yep.
And I just realized that they're taking some of my commission. So they go independent and either fail or don't do very well because I had one guy, he said, "Look, I went and sat down in front of my computer my first day as an independent." And I'm like,
yeah,
now what? Right.
Yeah.
So talk about how you transitioned into the independent world. And, did you take off right away? How did you start buying leads? What did you do first?
Yeah. So, when I chose to leave Humana, there were no more agent of record changes. Right. So for you those that don't know, Humana is the agent of record. So when you leave, they used to have a policy where you just get a form signed and you got your client back. Well, when I left, that was no longer a policy.
Yeah.
So I left, I won't forget it because it was my anniversary, August 15th, 2019. And I spent from August 15th to September 30th trying to find all of my low-income subsidies and Medicaid dual eligibles, getting them moved before that quarter ended. So I had a little bit of a book. In my territory for Humana, I didn't have a whole lot of duals. And then that AEP was just 14, 15-hour days recollecting the people I had signed up with Humana. It was a good first year. But after that, what do you do? Yeah. So if you're leaving a captive, you got that cushion, but what's left? So you have to buy leads. You have to figure out your own grassroots marketing. At least I had that money coming in, so I could buy leads. And then it was just get to a point, and then COVID hit. So
you get the car started, get the car rolling, then bang.
I was driving to do a seminar and got a call from the owner of the restaurant, St. Patrick's Day, that the state had shut down. So there went that seminar.
So your day is freed up.
Yeah. So that and that completely changed. But in the long run, COVID helped me. I never did telesales. Hated telesales. Yeah. But you're going to learn if you can't go face to face. So.
Yeah, and I think that's so important. I think one thing that COVID taught us, I always say, if anything good came out of COVID, one, it made agents, telephone, it taught us how to use a telephone and website and all that. But it also made the companies more compliant, and it made them step up because before COVID, not a lot of companies had the e-signature and all that stuff. So that was big. But the big thing with insurance agents is you have got to learn to adapt.
Yes.
Talk about, what are you doing now to even keep adapting and keep looking into the future, see what's coming?
Right. So Neuse Consulting, when I left, it was just going to be me. I just wanted to do my thing. I didn't want to manage people. I did it before, and then kind of had some trainees when I was with Humana. But I had a few Humana agents follow me.
Yeah.
So I do have the agents to work with. I'm constantly watching what CMS is doing, watching what the FCC is doing. Thankfully, we have a network that also helps me with that now. There's some scary stuff that could be coming for agencies out of CMS. But again, we adapt.
Yep.
That's all we've done since 2005 when I got in the You're constantly adapting. I was an ACA. They stopped paying. They stopped paying me.
Yep.
Why would I do it?
Yep.
So, and now they pay very well.
Yeah.
So it all comes around, and I think that's part of cross-selling.
Yeah.
So you always have something else you can turn to. Multiple apps in the house. Your client's always going to be with you. So it's just staying up to date, constantly seeing what's coming out, connections with the carriers. They if you're in good, I get tidbits before some of the other people, and it's just because of my relationships.
How do you build those relationships? What do you do to build those?
Work with them. So to me, it amazes me how many agents don't even reach out to their broker relationship managers.
Yeah.
At the carriers.
You're talking about like Humana, Aetna,
United. The smaller ones are really great to get working with. The Diversified. Devoted.
Yeah.
Alignment back in North Carolina. You just work with them, do some community events with them. They need agents to actually do that.
Well, and a lot of people don't know this. We'll give a little secret away here, right? A lot of agents don't realize that carrier reps get paid based on how much business is done in their area.
Correct. Yeah.
So they are going to feed the people that are going to in turn feed them. So you do a lot of seminars and stuff like that.
I do. Yep.
And has it helped? Do you invite those reps to the seminars and say, look, here's what I'm doing? And I know they've helped you out in the past with seminars and stuff like that.
Yeah, we've definitely had some the carriers sponsor our seminars. We've invited them to see what we do. We've had some take us up on that, and they love the presentation. The presentation I'm doing now has definitely been tweaked, and I think it helps a lot. It's put in some things that I didn't ever think about before. Yeah. And again, that's, going back to being that captive agent. Well, one of the good things about where I am is the support and what they're able to offer me. It's helped us a lot on the seminars and making the seminars more effective.
Right. And then they see if your rep walks in and sees 30 people at a restaurant,
they're happy.
They're happy and they're like, hold up, this guy's for real. Because I had a rep tell me here a while back, he said, you know what, Dallas, people call me all the time and be like, I am the next big deal. Yeah. I will be your leading producer. Yeah. And 6 months later, they're either gone or whatever. So they can't just throw out cash to everybody that walks in the door. So seeing that activity really helps them say, okay, this guy's really going to do it. So you said earlier that you didn't want to build a team in the beginning.
No, did not.
You wanted to be Stephen Robinson, Neuse Consulting. That's it. What changed your mind?
So I had a few Humana reps reach out. Also had a little agency in South Carolina. They were looking for something else. Mm-hmm. They were doing more ancillary products only. They had a MedSup product that really wasn't competitive. And I was like, I'll give you contracts. I'll offer you some support. And I finally realized I can help a large number of people, but if I build a team, I can help a whole lot of people.
Yeah.
And not only am I helping these agents grow, but these agents are helping their communities, and it's snowballed.
Yeah.
And we've gone. So 2019, I had one. Then we had 6, and now we're at 16. So it's not.
Wow.
I want to keep it small. I personally feel Medicare bringing on 4 to 5 a year is plenty as long as they're writing.
Well,
and that's writing 8. Yeah.
I think what you just said is doing it correctly.
Yeah.
Doing it the right way, because man, the worst thing you can do is bring someone in, they're relying on you, and then you don't have the time or money or whatever to help them. And you do invest in your agents.
I do a lot. Yeah.
I've seen you went to Pittsburgh and Philadelphia and helped your agents do Medicare seminars there and stuff like that. Has it been hard? Because I imagine 2019, 2020, 21, you were the leading producer. Are you still the leading producer in your agency?
I am not.
You are not. Is that hard? Who's beating you? Okay, Give him a shout out.
Yeah, Tammy Wolf. She got me 2 years in a row now. She will not get me this year. She will not get me this year.
Okay, that is live. Yeah, and that is a verbal contract. Right
Tammy
there.
Wolf, you're not beating me this year. So no. I know. So I've discussed this a lot with my team. We're kind of what is that next step?
Yeah.
Some of them want to build a team, and a few of them are ready. Yeah. One thing I do, I don't advise them to take leads until I've tested leads myself.
Nice.
So I got a new lead source. I've lost plenty of money on leads.
Sure.
Lead is a lead. but there's ones that are a little more efficient and more effective. So we'll still be doing the seminars, but we've got a new lead source that I'll start testing, and I'll make sure I get myself a little boost before Tammy starts.
So you're cheating is what you're doing.
Maybe.
That's okay.
Yeah, maybe.
You know, it's good to be the boss. You know what I mean? Yeah. No, I've watched you care about your people and stuff like that. And man, the old zig zag, I bet I've said this 20 times on this podcast. The easiest way to get what you want is to get enough people or help enough people get what they want, you know? And so you're getting to watch them grow, and you're affecting generations for years to come. And that's pretty rewarding. I mean, it's nice to help yourself. It's nice to help your family. But then you see Mother Teresa said, I can't change the world, but I can throw a rock and I can make some ripples. I don't think she said it that way, but that's kind of. Talk about then the importance of, you know, what makes you happy? What do you like to see? If you could say in 5 years, this is where I want to see Neuse Consulting.
I want to be a big player. So we're not failing. We're pretty successful.
Yeah.
But I'm at that point, and I have this discussion a lot with my mentors and some of my team, that I kind of feel like I'm at a point where I'm failing, but not failing. Right. If that makes it, super competitive. So I want to see Neuse well into 7 figures.
Okay.
I want to have some agents that have hit 7 figures.
Yeah.
And in 5 years, you can do that in Medicare.
Oh, 100%.
So, that's the goal. And I want to be where I can move away from personal production completely. Maybe obviously replace what falls off, because we don't want to move backwards at all. Yeah. But, if Neuse is well into the 7 figures, agents well into the 7 figures, and they're building teams that can get there, 6 figures shouldn't be the goal anymore. It's 7 figures.
That inflation's hitting everybody.
Inflation's hitting us hard.
Let's end with this. You've got it. So let's say somebody comes in your office. They decide to join Neuse Consulting. They're brand new.
Yep.
What are 3 things you're telling them? Here's what you do to get going.
Sure. So if they're brand new, I do not give them leads right off personally. Okay. So they watch me work for a little bit. And the watching me work is while they're getting their licenses, passing their AHIP, going through their carrier certification. Mm-hmm. You know, that's a good month.
The worst part of insurance.
Yeah. It could take you a good month, but I don't want them not knowing what to do once all that's completed. So they'll watch me work. I will, if I'm bringing on new ones, we'll try to time a seminar so that they can see that. That's it's still the easiest way to get in front of 30 to 40 people. And then they'll start running the leads with me. So I hand it over to them. We have an amazing training platform. Yeah. So one of the things I was trying to do was come up with my own training system. But why reinvent the wheel when you can find a FMO that has that for you? So we have the software, we have the technology, we have the training, we have the ability to go any vertical. I don't have to be an expert in it all anymore. I can hand it off to people that I trust and know it's going to be done the right way. It's basically learning the processes and systems, watching how I do it, and then watching them try to do it in their way, the way I did it. So just make sure they're compliant. That's my biggest thing.
Stay compliant.
You know, it's they got to fit our culture, and they've got to do it the right way.
Yeah.
And then if you do it that way, you're ready to buy leads because you're going to get that first check in a couple of weeks.
Yeah.
Invest in yourself.
Reinvest in yourself.
And you never have to spend money again on leads.
I love it. I love it. Well, man, thank you for joining us. How can people get a hold of you if they want to reach out to Stephen Robinson?
Stephen Robinson at neuseconsulting.com. So that's NEUSE, consulting.com, or the website. I actually have an agent page where you can fill out a form, give me your information. But that's neuseconsulting.com. And we'll set up a time to talk. Love to do Zooms, love to do in person. But if you're looking to get into the Medicare space, annuity space, I would love to have a conversation with you and just see if you're a fit, or maybe I can find somebody who might be a fit for you.
Yeah, absolutely. The man knows Medicare. The man knows barbecue.
Yes.
Well, we can argue about that.
We won't argue because our barbecue is better.
There's no sauce on the table.
It's called vinegar.
Oh, my goodness. All right. Guys, first of all, thank you, Steve, for being on.
Thank you, Dallas.
We'll argue about that off camera. But, guys, thank you for watching again. Thanks for listening. And, again, thanks for all the comments, likes, subscriptions, all that stuff. We appreciate you guys. We hope we're helping you. My goal is to help you get farther than where you are today. I want to challenge you with this today. Move forward. Do something that makes you a tad bit uncomfortable. Look at your list of people you're supposed to call. Pick the one that's been scaring you. Give them a call, and then let me know how it goes. Appreciate you guys tuning in to the Medicare Sales Playbook, where we help you expand your Medicare business one play at a time. Thank you to our producer, Adam Steffen, doing a great job in the booth as always. We will see you guys next time on the Medicare Sales Playbook.